Hey chiropractors, today you're going to discover how to have the 5 steps on a profitable staff-driven practice. And so the first thing you actually need is more new patients. And that might kind of sound silly, but they are the lifeblood of your practice. The thing is, you have to be able to know who your ideal new patient is and how to speak to them. Because too often as chiropractors, we just say, hey, I'm throwing a message out there and you're waiting for people to come in the door. But you don't have a targeted message, and quite honestly, there aren't ways to convert people into your office because there's some other things that are missing. But the main thing you have to have is a targeted message that speaks to the pain points of your ideal client or patient, and they have to be able to relate and saying, wow, this is the person who can actually help me. So that's how you get more new patients. And so the second thing you actually need is the systems, procedures, or protocols, if you will, to convert those new patients. And too often what happens is we're not taught in chiropractic school anything about business systems, protocols, or training. But what happens is you get these new patients that come in, and what happens is anywhere from the phones or all the way to the report of findings, something gets bottled. Maybe there weren't the right things that were said, or potentially somebody didn't trust you or something was off. So they go, well, yeah, I got to think about it. Or maybe someone has no-shows and patients aren't even coming in the door. So that tells me there is something that's messed up in the procedures. And so you need more new patients, but you got to have the right procedures. But ultimately then, when you have those, you also have to have the right people or the right staff. And too often as chiropractors, what we do is we hire really kind, nice people, or unfortunately what we do is hire warm bodies. We're so busy, or we just need someone that'll help us, so we'll hire the first person who walks in the door. But what happens is ultimately that sabotages your practice because their skill set isn't right, or maybe they're not fulfilled, and ultimately they're just not the right person for the seat of the bus. Because you could have the right new patients and the right procedures, but if you have the wrong people to execute those, again, the patients won't accept care, the staff is not fulfilled, and ultimately that's what's called a lose, lose, lose. But if you have the right new patients and the right processes and procedures and the right people, the next thing is, if it's set the right way, ultimately you got to be able to get patient results. And that's what this whole thing is about anyways. Because if you have the right procedures that'll actually clinically get patient results, and you have the right people who actually care and you can follow through that, you're able to fully find the person who needs your help and go all the way to the top where they actually get patient results. And now this is the top one. The 5th thing that most chiropractors struggle with is becoming profitable. A lot of chiropractors have problems with money, contradictions up here. But what happens is if you're able to provide someone the value, you should, and it's okay to be profitable as long as you're actually getting patient results and they're exchanging value for your time and ultimately the results they're getting. And so if you have the right new patients and you have the right procedures and you have the people who are good at getting the results, ultimately it's okay to make a profit. So then you can actually have some time with your family. You can actually enjoy the things you like, and ultimately you can spend more on marketing or pay your staff more, or those times where you can actually have a vacation. Either way, those are the 5 P's to actually have a profitable practice. But the thing is, you and I both know if one of those things are wrong or off, there is no profits, there are no patient results, you aren't going to hire the right people or don't have the right procedures, and ultimately without any new patients, your business will fail. And that's not fun to hear because you put a lot of time, effort, and energy, just like I did, into chiropractic school, and you have a heart to serve. And so if you're looking for any ways to figure out if there's any holes in the bucket, any problems or challenges, we put together a free resource for you. Just feel free to click the link below and see how we can serve you. Take care.